Welcome back, YouTube. It is the Drunk Capitalist here today, and I have another video for you guys. I recently came across this TikTok video that this girl made. I don't really know her name, but she had a valid question and she brings up some very good points. So today I want to have a discussion about why aren't average people okay with being average? That's a really good question. Everyone seems to be aiming as high as possible. And I agree, you should aim as high as possible. But if you don't land there, you still have to be okay with where you actually have achieved. So she asks this question, and it pertains mainly to the Black community where she asks it, but I think it applies to many other communities as well. Some people just simply aren't satisfied with what they have. And I think that lends a hand to many of the things that we see in our society and in our economy. People are in debt up to their eyeballs. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they are not okay with being average or having average things. And they end up creating an environment where things have become extremely unaffordable and a little bit unattainable, like having a home, because so many people want the biggest thing on earth. So let's get right into that video and see what she says.
I have a question for my community, and y'all might not like my question. What is wrong with being average? Because most of y'all are going to be average anyway. What's wrong with living just a comfortable life? Just a nice house, a nice car? Why do y'all all have to want mansions, want to be millionaires, want to drive luxury cars, want to wear luxury clothes? If we're being honest.
So before I continue, I think this has a lot to do with our human nature. I think that's the real answer, is that we all want to be above average because we want to be better than the next, because we measure ourselves sometimes haphazardly and not for the best, but we measure ourselves sometimes with our counterparts. It has never been the case in human history that humans have been equal to each other. Equal in rights and being human, but not really equal. And some people, even though they are pretty average, they still want to exemplify that they are somehow above average. So they move into a neighborhood and they see that their neighbor has a sports car. So not only does their neighbor have a McMansion, I have a McMansion, he has a McMansion, but he has a McMansion and a sports car. So objectively, because we're talking about objects here, he's better than me. Right? Not really coming to grips with the fact that he might have the McMansion and the sports car and the good looking wife and the cute kids, but he could be in debt up to his eyeballs. He could literally be holding onto his job for dear life, because if he misses one payment, it all falls apart. And I think that's the part that we miss, is that in our stress that we put on ourselves to be better than everyone else, we kind of put ourselves in positions where we end up falling apart completely. So I think instead of focusing on being better than others, you should just be focused on being your best self. And if your best self is average, that's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Having a car that's paid off, a home that you're not struggling with the mortgage, having food on your table, you can have steak sometimes, like you're able to go on your little vacations that you want to go on, and you're not hanging out to dry if you miss one payment or if you lose your job. I think that is well above average already, but people are aiming even further. They want the mansion, they want the marble countertops, they want all these luxury things, and I just feel like it's kind of unnecessary.
Most people who want to be above average can't even answer that question. Most of my people come from nothing. We living in the hood, we come from the hood, we come from the ghettos, the broke. But like 70 to 80% of my people also reject average, reject mediocrity. And
well, okay, so when she puts it into that perspective, coming from the ghetto and saying that they reject average, well, you gotta look at the average of the people around you, right? So I think in this case, if you're coming from the poorest neighborhood in your community, you don't want to be the average of that sum of people. You definitely want to be above average, right? that to me makes sense. If you're aiming like, hey, I live in, not to, comment on anyone's situation, but say you were someone that's on like Section 8 or living in the projects, you're well below average. So you're already around like the poverty line. So if you're aiming above average of the sum of the people around you, and you're saying, hey, I don't want to live in project housing, I grew up here, I want to buy a home, that would be technically above average for your specific community, but it's average in general. You get what I'm saying?
Have to be above average or your life is shameful. But if we're being honest, everybody who want to be above average can't be above average, because then that will be the new average. That makes sense?
But that's actually the entire point of capitalism, is to bring the average up, to bring the standard. So average and standard should be interchangeable here. To bring the standard up for everyone. So now whatever's on the bottom is actually way better than it ever was before. So her saying like, you being average, you're going to end up being average anyway, it's pretty much spot on.
So y'all was average students in high school. Let's be for real. Y'all got B's and C's and didn't care. But now that y'all out in the real world and y'all see what an above average mindset gets you, the benefits of an above average mindset, y'all want the benefits, but y'all still don't have the mindset to get that.
So what I think she's kind of also referring to, without actually saying it, is like she's pointing out how some people that are below average end up being below average because they always were below average. And a lot of that has to do with their mindset. But a major part that I've noticed about that is it has also a lot to do with the lack of foresight, right? So because in middle school, they were distracted by whatever it was they were distracted by, middle school, high school, college, they were distracted by certain things. They ended up being below average because their mindset was already below average, being distracted by those things that weren't going to lead them to an above average outcome. So now that they see what the results of the people that were focused on the right things, they're like, I now want to be where they're at. But you kind of missed the boat for the past 12 years. Like and now you're trying to catch up at the last leg of the race. Okay?
A lot of you want to be lazy and get rich off of get rich quick schemes. What? A lot of my community are not willing to change their mindset to be above average, to get above average results. And I'm not trying.
So basically, you're not changing your mindset at all, and you're really not really trying to change your behavior. You just want to change your outcome. You want to be able to focus on the things you want to focus on, be distracted, and still get the results of the people that are working hard for years and years and years. So you end up thinking, oh, there must be some type of cheat code. You grew up playing Grand Theft Auto and you found that there was cheat codes, and you started cheating codes for money, cheating codes for cars, cheating codes for clothes, and you think you can apply the same mindset to actual life and have a cheat code. But that's how you get scammed, because there is no cheat code to this, right? It really is input and output. You put in work and you might have a really good output as a result. That's it. Actually, nothing is even guaranteed, but the only possibility is that if you work hard, you might actually get something out of it. The likelihood increases. If you don't work hard, getting something out of it, the likelihood is damn near zero, right? So when you're trying to catch up and you end up in a scamming situation, you didn't actually elevate your mindset at all, because you're still in that lower level of thinking that somehow it's all just gonna work and you're not gonna be in like illegal activities. A lot of these scammers, that I see videos of them suggesting certain things to do, write-offs and tax this, and you could do a tax write-off, you could write off a G-Wagon, all types of silly stuff. And I'm like, do you understand that they're selling you criminality? Like, they're actually selling you criminality. Like, you actually can't get rich off this. You actually might end up in jail. But let's keep going.
It's great to dream, but at the same time, we got to be realistic. Anything possible, but how probable is it for you and your situation? Your life is a resume. What has your life shown you? What actions and decisions have you made in life that proves to you that you can get above average results? What above average decisions have you made and above average actions have you taken? Realistically, you probably don't need to be a millionaire because your decisions and actions are going to make you lose that million as soon as you got it. In my community, we need to stop turning dreams into delusion. You can only get more than what you have if you become more than you are. And most of y'all are just vain flexers, and that's okay. What's wrong with that? But that's not above.
I love what she said. Most of y'all are just vain flexers. The truth is, most people just want to get rich so they can show other people that they're rich. Literally. Like, they want money so they can buy things to show you that they got money. Sometimes they won't even buy things with the money. They'll just put the money in a big stack in a rubber band and go like this. Hey, I got money. Like, it's the weirdest thing. They don't actually want to be rich in the sense of they want to live a full, fulfilling life of health and wealth and work hard and build something in their community that in return gives them something back. Like, they don't want to actually add value to the world and have the world give them monetary gain back. They just want the monetary gain so they could tell you how much money they got. Like, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I just found that comment to be completely hilarious and completely on point. It's just like, you're just a vain flexer, because I've literally seen people from college or what have you just in the street that were straight up scammers, that are credit card scammers, but all they buy is a luxury clothing, take pictures, and post it online. That's it. So they risk their freedom to show you that they have money, and that's it. So the whole idea of wanting to be rich really doesn't come from anything. And that's why she pointed out, like, you don't even need to be a millionaire because you're going to throw it away anyway. You're not actually going to do anything with it besides nonsense. Mostly the same nonsense you're doing now.
So why do you deserve above average income and results?
So she's asking you, why do you feel like you deserve above average income and results if you've never done anything in your life that would warrant that? And that's a valid statement. I've never heard anything more valid coming from a TikToker, like, in my life. Like, TikTok is a gem sometimes, especially when it comes to financial things and people that are like seeing things that I'm seeing, and I'm just like, they're on point. So I kind of want to get into the comments real quick before we go. So we have her comment section here. Some people are saying, I thought it was just me. I only aspire peace, or aspire to peace. I just want peace, good health, or nice regular home with the Mercedes SUV. Not sure why Mercedes specifically, or why is SUV, but you know, some people just want modest, average lives, and I think that that's okay. We need to have a space for that. Everyone doesn't need to be a super duper magical hustler in the world and moving and shaking, because that just doesn't work. I don't need a mansion, but I definitely want to be a millionaire. I want to live beyond comfortable. Living comfortable to me is close to living paycheck to paycheck. Something I never want to go back to. Everyone deserves the best. See, I have a problem. I still have a problem with the word deserves. But like, I don't think everyone deserves the best. I think everyone deserves the opportunity to have the best. We don't have to get into that. But so the creator responded, comfortable means financially stable. My mom sacrificed too much for me to be average, especially her being immigrant. Being average, I can't give her or my family back home a great life. We have to make a video about this. This comment right here, we have to make a video about this, because this is what we call the black tax. And this person is in the depths of the black tax. So far in the black tax that they just see it as just life. Like, you have to give other people a good life. And that you shouldn't be average simply so that you can elevate others. That sounds bad, but this is a black tax comment right here. Because we work hard all our lives to make it possible for our bosses and their families to live above average, we should be able to attain the same. You see, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people assume that because someone has a job and then they go to work that they're working hard. Unfortunately, that is just not the case. If you don't start a business, or you don't elevate your skills into a skill that is highly paid or something, it really doesn't make sense that you would be flipping burgers and somehow have a mansion. It just doesn't add up. You have to do above average things. Like she said, you have to go to your burger flipping job during the day, and then at night crack open a book, read up on some stuff, maybe go to a trade school at night and learn something else in order to go to the next step. And then that's how you build continuously over years and years and years. You don't just flip the burgers, go home, play video games, talk to whoever, hang out with your friends, and then somehow magically you're going to be above average one day when you wake up. It just doesn't work. Why wouldn't we want to be millionaires? I mean, no one said you wouldn't want to be a millionaire, but are you doing any of the things that will get you there? Are you adding any value to life, to the people around you, for you to become a millionaire? That clothing line you said you wanted to have, did you start it? Did you design anything? Do you know anything about materials and textiles? Do you know anything about production? Do you know anything about anything? You can want to be a millionaire all your life, but if you don't do anything to become a millionaire, then you won't be a millionaire. Like, that's it. They tell us you have to make at least 6 figures to live comfortably in the US. 6-figure people keep telling us. Yeah. Like, average doesn't pay bills like it used to for our parents. It's true. Things have changed. Inflation, monetary policy, all things have changed. We're going to talk about that. I mostly wanted to have a luxury car, living and financially stable, because that's what my parents had. So yeah, I want to be above and beyond because of them. I like this comment. This is valid. I want to be better than what my parents have. This is what they've grown me accustomed to. I want to do even better for them. What's the point? We always got to settle. Like, why not be above average because we want to be? You can be above average if you want to be, but just wanting doesn't make something come into fruition. You actually have to be that. If you are being above average, you are above average. But if you're average and you want above average results, that doesn't work. Like, the equation is bad. But I believe in living in my means. Can't argue with that. Live in your means. Nobody rejects having an average life. It's just most people have high expectations for themselves. Yeah, you can have high expectations for yourselves, but you're going to end up beating yourself up if you do nothing. And that's a thing that most people end up going through. I've been through that, where I had high expectations for myself. I didn't come through for myself, and now I got to beat myself up so I can beat myself into submission of my own expectations. But if you never get to that point, then you're not going to do anything, really. You're going to be like, I'll do it next week. Because I don't want to have an average mindset, you have to do above average to start understanding the mindset. Exactly. You have to do it to do it. Like, you have to be it to be it. To hell with that. I have a simple life. I just need the basic things. I love you for this, because people not realistic. Average is literally meeting the standard. As long as I can provide for the fam and take vacations. I love my comfortable life. Damn, why can't we want more out of our lives? We only live once. You can want all you want, but you still have to do. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching. It's the Drunk Capitalist. I hope you got something out of this. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.